Okay, this morning I'm just going to talk about hulls and different hull shapes on boats. What I have here is a typical example of a Springer. This is a 1980s boat, which has something that is quite unusual to this type of vessel, in that it has not a traditional flat shaped bottom. Most narrowboats from here, where this seam is joined, are flat, so that the boats cruise along the canal system very smoothly. The reason for this V shape in here is a unique design to these Springers, in that it actually gives the hull a lot more strength. Springers as a model of boat do tend to get what I believe is a lot of unnecessarily bad press. They are very, very good, very, very reliable boats, as long as they are surveyed and checked by a surveyor to say that this steelwork is of good integrity, like this one is. They will provide you with ample pleasure on the inland waterway system at a very, very competitive price. One of the things you can see on this hull is we've had it out, it's been surveyed by a surveyor, and it's in good condition. There has been a little bit of overplating work. The overplating work you can see by these additional plates here. This is original steel and this is some overplating. It means that the boat will have probably another 20-30 years worth of life in it if looked after and maintained sensibly with blacking. And what is very, very important are these little devices here, which are called sacrificial anodes. The reason that we install these onto the hull of the boat is they help protect the boat from electrolytic degradation of the actual steelwork. What tends to happen in boats that don't have these on them is you get corrosion on the hull, which is called pitting. And here's a little example of that there. You can see that the steelwork has actually reduced a little bit, where there's been some electrolysis taking place between the steel structure of the boat and perhaps a pier, whether it be concrete or whether it be a steel pier. And this is only minor and very common in boats. The problem is if this gets too deep, i.e. below what the insurance companies deem as being an insurable level, which is 4 millimeters, then the boat would need to be overplated. And this, you can see, has happened in this area here. But this boat, if looked after properly and these anodes are put on and replaced on a regular basis, the steel will remain in good condition. It's a very common question for us, what does an anode do? If you look at this one underneath here, you can see how it has changed from this shape, which is a 2.5 kilogram lump of magnesium on here, and this one has been deteriorated. What happens without going too much into the chemical reaction, this offers a path of least resistance for any electrolysis that is happening between the boat and where it is actually moored or where it's plugged into a landline. This is an area that is a path of least resistance, so any electrolysis that goes on will actually degenerate this anode rather than attacking and degenerating the steelwork of the boat. They are very important, they should be checked, they should be replaced on a regular basis, and they will help maintain the integrity of the steelwork. Typically you tend to put 4 on a boat, but sometimes surveyors will recommend that more are put on there, perhaps up to 6, just to make sure that they are actually offering sufficient protection from that electrolysis process. If we look at some of the other things on the boat, you can see here when it's out of the water, we've actually got what a lot of people ask us, what is a skin fitting? These are typical skin fittings on a boat. They're actually areas on the hull where any of the utilities that are inside the boat, such as the kitchen sink, the wash basin and the shower, can actually vent over the side of the boat with all the grey waste that is actually produced in there. These need to be checked by a surveyor as being 10 inches above the waterline, which these are, and that's an important requirement in terms of the insurability of the boat and also the safety of the boat. If these aren't below if these aren't above 10 inches, I should say, sorry, then a surveyor would not pass the boat as being compliant from a safety point of view, because there is a probability or a possibility that you can get water ingress in through those holes here and actually start to flood the boat, which is something you don't actually want to do. If we move along here around the back of the boat, you can see there is a skin fitting here that obviously is an original fitting from the boat, and this now would be below the actual 10-inch level. The reason that has had to be moved is because of this overplating on here. The overplating has obviously increased the mass of the boat, and the boat will sit lower in the water, and therefore this is no longer compliant, and that's why those new fittings have had to be put onto the side of the boat here. You should be able to see at the back here the other set of anodes that have been put on, and you can see at the back here the older anode, which hasn't depleted as much as the ones at the front. There is no set pattern to how they're actually going to erode or degrade, but this will continue to work and then is supported by the set of 4 new anodes on the boat. What I'm actually going to do is in another video show you a boat with a more traditional bottom, i.e. a flat bottom narrow boat, and just take you through some of the things that we can see on that. Thank you very much.